Alright, in today's video, we'll be making an Afrobeat from scratch. I'll be going through all the processes, the melody, drums, arrangement, adding effect and mixing. With that said, let's jump straight into it. Alright, to begin with, let's adjust our tempo to 94 to make something chill. Add a sampler channel from the sampler menu to choose the key you will be working in. The key and tempo is subject to change. You can later switch up the tempo or pitch the melody up or down in semitones to change the key. Select the stamp icon. From the melody scale section, I'll select the natural minor. Our root note will be A and all the notes of the A minor scale will be selected. Hold shift, click and drag to duplicate it. Ctrl plus arrow up to bring them up an octave. I'll repeat this a couple of times to cover a vast pitch range. I'll be using the root preset from Keyscape. Now we have all the ghost notes of the A minor scale to work with. If yours doesn't show, you have to hit the command alternate plus V to activate the ghost note. Alternatively, you can hit the drop down menu, views, scale highlighting, select the root note you want and then you can select the scale you want to work in. For the melody, let's select the second note of the scale. If we are sticking to the scale to build a chord, we skip a scale note and select the next. So the next scale note is the C. We skip that and select the D. And then go on further and skip the E and select the F. This is a diminished chord. It creates all the tension and dark vibe. But this is Afrobeat. You want a melodic progression, not a tensed one. What we can do here is that we switch up the chord to a minor chord by raising the fifth. Now we have a minor chord. And you'll notice we have gone out of the scale, but that's fine. We can skip another scale note and select the next to make it a seventh chord. Now we can select the fourth degree of the scale. Maybe go out of the scale again and then flatten it. If you use the skip each scale note rule, you won't get a minor chord. So from the root C sharp to the next note is 3 steps away. So we count 1, 2, 3. And from the middle note, the E to the 5th degree is 4 steps away. 1, 2, 3, 4. G sharp. Make it a 7th chord. Now we can reposition this note to make it sound better. This sounds okay. We can add variation to the next half of the progression. I'm just looking at the distance from the D5 to the F sharp. It's just 4 steps. So I'll add a note on top with equal intervals. From here we can just switch up the bass note. Now we can make little changes to the next half of the progression. Take out this note, and if you pay attention, the bass notes are moving upwards. I might as well change the last note to match the sequence. Just move it upwards. Alright, this sounds good. Now we can make it sound a lot more better by adding a counter melody. So the easiest way to come up with melodies is to use the chord notes. Here's the B minor 7 chord and here are the notes that it comprises of. We are going to test each of the notes and select which one will sound better with the progression. Maybe try another one. Alright, this sounds okay to me. So you can apply simple techniques like this if you are struggling to come up with melodies. From here we just do Alt plus R to randomize the velocities. Alt plus S to strum notes. This process basically humanizes the melody. Now from here, to create depth with our melody, we have to layer with different presets. So I'm going to layer with different presets of the roots to get a complex texture of the sound. From here we can click and drag to select the melody, F9 for the mixer, and route to the mixer for further processing. To get the most out of this sound, just mix and match the levels. Now we can hold Ctrl and click and drag to select. Right click at the bottom of an empty mixer track. Select route to this track only. Now we can apply insert effects that affect all 3 instances of the VST at once. But first, I like to render as audio clip. I'm the selected track. Do Alt plus R to render as audio clip. I kind of want to add a pitch bend at the end of the progression. The range of the pitch is set to 2 semitones, so I can detune it 2 semitones or pitch it 2 semitones up. So basically we just right click on the pitch, create an automation. Right click on the first point and copy value. I just want to detune it from here, so I'll paste the value and then make this automation curve. And I want to add another version of the progression without the counter melody, so we can use it on the verse. So we get rid of the counter melodies. Do Ctrl+L to connect them. I'll just go ahead and render as audio clip. I've shown that already. For the purpose of saving time, I'll do that real quick. Now I'm going to layer with a pad from Expand 2. We'll just take out the bass note. And I just rendered as audio clip. From here, I want to add a volume effect to the sample to give it a rising effect. We can insert fruity balance, create automation with the volume knob, and then do something like this. From here, we can cut the low frequencies from the road to make room for our bass instrument. Now you can get rid of the unwanted audio clip by going to the tools up here, macros, purge unwanted audio clips. From here we can add another counter melody. I've uploaded 3 instances of VSTs to layer together. So from the miscellaneous section, select layer. Make sure the VST you want to layer are selected, and then click on set children. Now all 3 VSTs play together, and then we can create this pattern by following the chord notes. But now I kind of have an idea to bring some of the layered melody down an octave. So here's what we have. Now we can begin to add drums. Let's start with a log drum. Layer it with another log drum that fills lower range of the frequency. From here, we make a percussion loop that complements the groove. A 4-step kick pattern, shakers, congas. We can add wet percussions like percussions with lot of reverb to accent some of the hits and add ambience to the groove. Always add swing to humanize the drums. From here, we do basic leveling, pan some elements. And here's what we have. Now we can add a vocal sample to accent the melody. Stretch it to be in time, and then from here we pitch it to be in key. So from the F, we have to move 4 semitones up to get to A. So we pitch it plus 400 cents. Basically 100 cents equal 1 step or 1 semitone. So I just want this part of the sample and I'll basically drown it in reverb. From here we can add low frequency element like bass. We'll be using a sub bass from Harmless. It's a stock FL Studio plugin. I'll basically use the same root note and then slide the counter notes. Nothing too drastic because we'll be using this only at the intro of the song. We can boost the bass by adding low-end harmonics by using the Waves Max bass. On the master bass, we do fruity soft clipper to control the picks. Just set the ceiling and push the threshold until you hear no distortions. Now we have a cool vibe to build on. This will be our intro to the beat. Now let's focus on other segments of the beat. So this next 12 bars can be our verse. So the verse just have the chords without the counter melody. We already have a percussion loop. We can just add a rim shot bounce. And we can create a bass line with an 808 pattern. But first check if your 808 is in key. Right click and edit in Edison. the flag icon, click and detect pitch region. You can see that it slides from D to C, but should in case if it's not in key, you may have to pitch it up or down to be in key with your song. Now I have a little problem right here. The 808 clashes with the conga, so I might just take out the congas where the two sound clashes. Now this sounds a lot more cleaner. We can basically level them out. The 808 or bass should be below the kick level. We don't want it to overpower other elements in the mix. Now from here we split the drum pattern by channels so we can take out some percussions on different parts of the beat. Maybe the verse should begin with only the melody playing because the intro is a lot more busier, just to give it a little bit of break and dynamics. Now these 16 bars will be our chorus. From here we can add the bass line with the same preset. So we can do a simple bass line like this, just following the root note. From here we can add an ambient melody with the tenor sax from the Session Home Pro Bank from Contact. We basically have to drown it in reverb because we want it to be a background sound. Now we do basic effects to have different switch ups, like an effect to signal the end of an intro or the beginning of a verse. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So first, let's create a melody bass and then insert a gross beat. It's a stock plugin. So we go to preset, momentary, select the vinyl stop. This basically adds this tape stop effect. So we can either automate the mix level or the on and off button. Adding a transition to introduce the second half of the intro, and then the bass comes in. Drum fills. A clap with a lot of reverb. And that'll be all for this video. Like always, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.